Hi everyone, I'm doing an art journal page today in this journal that I made from paper bags. As you can see, it's just all kinds of paper bags from all kinds of shops that I just cut and stitched very loosely here. Nothing special, and just picked one of my painty papers on something a little bit thicker to make the cover. I'm not worried about it not being perfect. I will deal with it when I'm finished with the journal. I'm always doing the cover when I'm finished with the journal. I'm going to do a double spread today, and I'm working here on the middle. I'm just covering it with masking tape just so the thread won't be in my way. And as I said, it's like working on a junk journal. I don't care about it being perfect. I didn't iron the pages. You can still see all kinds of folds from the paper bag. You can see where I ripped out the handles that were here. Sometimes I cover the whole thing, sometimes I use part of the color of the page, and it's really up to you what you like to do. But I really like to do art journaling on this kind of paper. It's very sturdy and it's cheap because and it's recycling whatever we got at all kinds of shops. So I'm starting today with all kinds of sandy and beige colors. I've got some this one is called craft paper. I've got linen, I've got sand, and I've got taffy, I don't know, and I've got, I don't know, some green. It's a little bit of olive green that I want to start doing on my page. I haven't taken anything to put some paint on, forgot about it, so here we go. Just putting it here. And I want to start by just going all over the background with these colors quite loosely and quickly with a sponge. You can use this kind of sponge, you can use any kind of sponge. As long it just, I was going for the ones that have more holes, and so that when I'm using it, it would be irregular and I won't have any defined lines. Just putting a little bit of each color. This one I will use less. I want it more, just a hint of it in the background. Okay, so, and if I have lines from the sponge, like that was the original sponge and I just took a piece out of it, and I don't want to have a straight line, I will just tear some and have a more interesting piece to work with. Okay, so because this the green color, I just want to pick through all the other colors. I'm just putting it first again randomly. I just wanted to pick in several places, otherwise I really don't care. If I will feel I need it more on the page, then I will put more, but right now that's the start. Okay, so now there is really no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to mostly cover the page with all these colors, and as long as I'm doing it while it's still wet, then I am getting also in between colors to make it more interesting. So this one that was called craft paper is really in the color of craft paper. It didn't look to me when it was in the bottle, but it is. Going into lighter colors, and I will need more paint for covering and mixing until I get what I want, because right now it's not blended enough for my taste. And as I'm doing it, I'm thinking that maybe I want something to shimmer, and I've got some kind of a greenish color, this metallic greenish color. Maybe I will add it also to the background. We'll see. So again, just dabbing, spreading, switching. Again, it's just until you get what you like. And of course, if you don't like to craft on craft paper, if you don't like to do art journaling on this kind of paper, then do it with whatever art journal you have. It doesn't have to be like this one. Okay, so taking now from this greenish color and letting it mix. Okay. We still need more paint. That's the problem when doing a background with a sponge. It takes a lot of paint. Okay, I want this color a little bit more. I want to get to some kind of a, I don't know what to call it, like so it would look a little bit more like sandstone. I don't know how to call it. But it does start to take shape. I'm starting to like what I have, and I still need a little bit lighter color here in several places. Yeah, now I'm loving it. Okay, so this is this. If you are really concerned about your sponge, then right away clean it, wash it. If you are not, and for you it's disposable, then you can just throw it away and be done with it. Couldn't help myself and dab a little bit more because I still got a little bit more paint. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Okay, this needs to dry completely before I continue. My next thing that I want to do is stencil this on the page, and so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. The background is dry. I thought about stamping on it before I'm doing this, but decided to leave it alone, at least until the end. If I will feel that the background still needs more elements, then I will do something later on. And for this, I've picked some orangey colors and some turquoise that I want to try, and I need to be careful about it. I'm going to use first the orangey colors, let them dry, and then switch to the turquoise, because I don't want them to mix really only on the edges. Otherwise I will have mud between these two colors. And I just picked some shades of orange. This is bright coral, and this is just orange, and this one is terracotta. And I'm just going to stencil and change in between. So again, I like to have shades and in between. I don't like to stencil with just one color. It doesn't want to get out, this color. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm thinking if I want to stencil with, again, with this kind of sponge and not with a makeup sponge, I don't know. I'll go with a makeup sponge this time. Okay, so just taking one and I'm going to cut where I have dried paint so I can use this again until there is no more sponge. Okay, so I'm not putting it in the middle, I'm putting it a little bit to the side because I already have some other element that I want here on a little bit on top of this mandala stencil. I think this one I bought on Temu. And now I'm just going to put down this color, and I'm doing it again randomly, putting it in some places. And I'm not concerned about it being opaque. I don't mind that some of the background is peeking through. I just get more texture this way. And now I'm changing to another shade of orange and continuing just doing the same thing. I don't know how much of a difference you can see in the video, but there is a difference between the shades, and it just gives a more dimensional and more organic look when you're doing something like that instead of one solid color. One solid color just gives a, I don't know how to call it, artificial plastic feel to something. That's my take on it. You can do whatever you like. Okay, changing to the other color, the terracotta. Just making sure. Right now I'm going all over everything with the orangey color, and when I'm finished then I will add in several places the turquoise color. That's why I need for it to be dry before I'm applying the turquoise color. Of course, if you want it to be opaque, then you can just go and do another layer until you get the result that you like. Just changing in between colors. Okay. I hope I haven't missed anything. Just putting it up a little bit to see what's going on. Yeah, just here a little bit more, and lifting this side just to check what is going on. Yeah, I like it. Here I need a little bit more. Okay, so this is the beginning, and now I've got leftover paint, so bringing in notebook for leftover paint. Sometimes I just smear, sometimes I just smoosh everything on top. Really doesn't matter. Just using. And I also have a small dictionary with that I also use leftover paint in, so that's another way to use your leftover paint. So this is one. I can take another page and take my palette and just smoosh it in like so, and drag it and smoosh it and move it. I'm telling you, it works. I've got most of my the most beautiful papers that I have are just from this kind of thing that I do with leftover paint. I'm putting it to the side to dry, and just putting this here. I will need it for the turquoise, and of course I'm making a mess as usual. So this won't take long to dry. I didn't put a thick layer of paint, just scraping a little bit, so I won't have too much of a mixing between the colors and taking the time to wipe some of it off my hands. Okay, so moving on to the turquoise. Okay, I've got two shades. And I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe this will make an appearance here, just so I will have a little bit of shimmer. I don't know, we'll see as I go along. Okay, so I'm bringing in this again, aligning it, and I'm thinking that maybe I will use the sponge. I'm wetting it a little bit. It's a little bit stiff to the touch. Now, don't put water that you will squeeze and something will get out. This is natural sponge, not artificial one. And let's see. Let's hope I will get something interesting. Okay. So dipping into this shade and just going again quite randomly. Not sure about it. I had something in mind and I'm not sure how it will go. I can always cover it if I don't like it. Okay, so I'm not sure if I want to go over everything or part. Let's see. Yeah, I like it. Now I'm dipping into this metallic paint and adding a little bit. I'm thinking now to even reach out for a gold acrylic paint. You probably can't see it. Metallics just don't show on video, but it's there. Maybe later I will just tilt it so you can see. Okay, I've got gold here. Again, it mixes with the rest, but I don't care. This is just part of everything. It doesn't have to be a solid gold. It just needs to be a hint of shimmer in the background. So I'm not concerned. The pigeons are driving me crazy. They are like stuck in a, it's a very weird roof, and they are like stuck there, and I managed to get rid of them for a little while, put an amplifier with AC/DC, and it drove them away. But then I think they got used to AC/DC, so I switched to Led Zeppelin, and they got used to Led Zeppelin too. I'm thinking that now I need to to go and put something even louder, like Ramstein or something like that, to get rid of the pigeons in the roof. Something very noisy. Okay, so I like it. Not what I imagined it would look like, but that's fine. And I'm also planning on going with some kind, either marker or a colored pencil, to make it a little bit more defined and with a little bit of a shadow. But I'm not sure yet. Okay, so that's the next stencil. I really wanted to have like a vine coming like this and on part of the mandala. So that's the stencil that I have, and now I'm bringing back this color, this olive green, and maybe even again taking this green metallic, and I don't know, I'm playing here. Let's see, maybe something lighter just to soften everything. We'll see how it goes. I'm not even cleaning my sponge. I'm just reaching for this and starting with the darker color. I want to use the lighter color to add later on. First I'm laying down this color. Okay, so this one I need to keep it because a natural sponge is expensive. I'm going to go and wash it and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back and I'm switching. I'm gonna try this kind of sponge, just I don't know, trying to see how this would look in stenciling. And now I'm dipping into this metallic and just adding in some places. So again, I won't have one solid color. You can do the same thing just with a makeup sponge, and I'm even thinking of switching to a makeup sponge, and that's it. So let's see, a little bit of the metallic and just trying to have a hint of it in several places and not in one place. I'm taking now from this and kind of going and giving each leaf here kind of a, let's say, a highlight again, so there won't be one solid color. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just change the color. I don't know. I'm doing something. We'll see what happens. Not sure about it, but I keep on going until I get something that I like. And I know it's kind of difficult to see when the stencil is on, but you can always lift and see where you need more definition, where you need to change, you feel you need to change the color. Where I need to blend more in between, so I won't have this kind of too much of a difference. Okay, so that's okay, and now I need to do all the detailing work, which is going to be either markers or some colored pencils. Let's see. First of all, I want to go over this, and I'm thinking to just go first with some, this is a Uniball, a Signo, a gold marker. I just want to add some lines, at least here on the outside, in several places. This, I really don't have any explanation. I'm putting it down where I feel a shape from the stencil need more definition, and that's what I'm doing. I want the gold to, I hope you can see when I tilt it, the gold shimmers in several places and gives highlights. And after this, I want to take another marker or a pencil and do some shadows. Again, if this is the highlight, then something like a brown or just a regular pencil will give me some nice shadow that will help me define the shapes, but also give it a more dimensional look. So that's what I'm going for, and I'm just moving the page because I feel like some of the paint is still kind of wet, so I'm trying not to transfer it to my to my hand. Okay, maybe later on I will go inside little details here. I'm not sure. Maybe like this, like, I don't know. I'm just playing right now. Okay, so this I will see later on. Now I'm thinking about giving a little bit of more shadow. Let's see. For this, I like to use if it's a pencil, then you need something that has a darker graphite, like 6B, 10B, 12B. They are also more soft when you're going up with the numbers, or using a brown colored pencil. I'm just looking for it now where it is. Oh, here we go. I think you can use a regular one, or you can use watercolor ones if that's what you like to use. And so this is just a 10B. Which now I can go underneath some of the shapes, and then take this what it's called, stump, blending stump, and just smear it. Again, I'm going to do it just in several places. I'm not going to go over each and every shape I have from the stencil. Mostly underneath shapes, just as a drop shadow, and just smudging. If I used this, this is a Faber-Castell watercolor pencil brown, I can do the same thing and activate it with water, but I'm thinking that this pencil is good enough and I won't have to wait for things to dry. So that's what I'm using. Just put it wherever you think you need it. It's just a hint, nothing else. And when I'm smudging, I'm always taking it, like if I've put, I hope you can see, the pencil is from here to here, but when I'm smudging it, I will take it farther, because then it blends into the rest and it looks better. I can go in here and do more. It's really up to you what you feel needs to be more defined, and also how how much do you care about it. I think it's starting to take shape a little bit more interesting than just plain stenciling. Okay, so for now I'm going to leave the mandala alone. I'm thinking to switch to this, and I'm thinking maybe I will start with a very fine brown marker, and if it doesn't work, then I will switch to black. I've got these felt pens that have dual tip. One is a brush and one is this fine point, so I'm going to try this one, and I can already see that it's not enough, or maybe if I'm going not enough for my taste, switching to just a black and going for, I'm also thinking of doing some detailing inside each leaf. Something like that. And we'll see. I'm not sure yet, but I like not precise lines. I like wobbly lines. That's the best explanation I can give you, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. I've been taking all kinds of my stencils I've got and making them into let's say a focal point, just by tracing the shapes, connecting between the shapes. So, and you've seen me do that in at least 2 other videos in recent past, and that's what comes out of it. And I like this wobbly line that I'm going and intentionally not doing it precisely. So I'm thinking maybe that's what I'm going to do here. But right now I'm just going around the shapes, and we'll see where it gets me. And again, it's right now it's not it's not the line that as I said, I like, but again, I'm not too concerned about precision. So I'm just going around the shapes. Almost. Okay, so not sure. Let's see. Detailing first. Just a little bit. starting to take shape. What do you know? And it's not exactly what I was thinking when I started this page. It always changes as I go. I'll also do some shading to the leaves, so it will go with the rest of the page. And maybe I'm going to add some stamping to the background, what I thought before. Yeah, okay, so where is my pencil and the stamp, and once again putting it down where I think shadow is needed, and it's mostly underneath the shapes, just putting it down quite quickly. I'm also here in between the leaves, a little bit of shadow, and here. It's not an exact science, just where you feel like it. Okay, so some blending. Sometimes, like here, I didn't put any pencil, but I figured I need a little bit more. You still have lots of graphite here, so you can just go and use it. It's really coming along. And I'm always surprised. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm going to add, because I've done here shadowing and the gold on the top, I'm just going with the gold in several places on the top of each leaf. Again, it's just something that adds to the whole, I think. I'll tilt the page in a minute so you can see all the areas that have shimmer to them. And I want you to see what I'm talking about. Maybe a little bit here. Okay, I really hope that you can see the parts with the shimmery gold or the green metallic. So I'm really liking it, but I still feel like I need something else and something in the background. So let's see. What to use? Stamping, stenciling. I'm thinking either stenciling some text, not stenciling, stamping some text, or stenciling with soft some shapes in with soft makeup brush with distressings. Okay, I need to figure this out and I'll be back. Okay, so decided to just add a little bit of stamping all around, and I've picked this stamp. This is Archival Ink Coffee, and let's hope it will add what I'm really hoping to achieve, something more interesting in the background. And again, I'm doing it quite randomly, just spreading it around. Yeah. Now I'm loving it. What can I say? Now I'm happy. Sometimes it's the little things. Yeah, now I'm happy. This is it. That's my page. I really like it. The only thing that I'm thinking that is just maybe I will go and add some more definition to some of the shapes here, but like this again, just with the same black that I've used here. Not sure about it. It can go either way. I'm not concerned about it too much. I can go on and do all kinds of stuff to this mandala. It can be an ongoing project. Each time you pick something and do something else. I don't know, it's just, I am not sure it's about knowing when to stop, and sometimes it's just, you just like to keep on adding more details. I don't know. So this is it, and before I go I want to show you just how I now have 2 more painting papers to work with, to play with, just from the leftover paint, and with the same stencil that I had here already out of the binder. So that's what I'm using, and that's how I create my painting papers. And also how, by changing the colors and the order of use, you can just create different things, but that still can go together. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.